Hi folks, Lawrence Man, and today I'm in sunny Sheffield. I've just gotten off the train, everything's looking good, and I'm here to talk to you about the Wacom MobileStudio 16. It's an awesome piece of kit, and from a 2D artist point of view, it's probably, I have to say, the best drawing experience out there for a mobile tablet. That said, it has a 3D scanner on it. I could give you my 2 cents for what it's worth, but me going, oh, it's alright, yeah, it scans stuff on, but it's not worth much, is it? So I thought I'd come here to Sheffield to talk to one of the country's top leading 3D scanning experts. He's the director of Ten24, which has worked on movies, TV, Doctor Who, everything. They've done some amazing work, and they've got some software of their own. They look awesome. So I'm here in Sheffield to talk to these guys and see what they think of the Wacom MobileStudio 16's 3D scanning abilities. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Hey, alright.
Jamie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Little,
Yeah, vlogging everything.
yeah, right, cool.
Just record it all.
Yeah, right, okay.
Unless there's something you don't want me to see.
No, it's fine. No, absolutely. It's absolutely fine. What do you want to do then? Do you want to...
Right, well, I've got the Wacom MobileStudio with me.
Cool, okay.
Obviously, I've already kind of reviewed it from a 2D artist point of view,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
my
cool.
opinion of the 3D scanner would be pretty much worthless.
Yeah. Okay.
So, should we find a place to sit down and just...
Yeah, cool, yeah. Well, what I was thinking is we grab like a cup of tea or something, and then we'll grab something, take it over to the studio, and then we'll scan it and have a look at the scanner and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's what I am really interested in as well, is how
Okay.
the two kind of
How it
compare.
actually works, yeah.
Is the scanner on this going to be completely amateur, or is it going to
We
be...
can have a look at it and see what we can get out of it. I mean, it might be that you can get enough to work from, if you know what I mean. So we'll try sticking it as a brush and see how it looks.
Yeah.
See if we can get anything.
So here I am inside 1024's 3D scanner. Well, not inside it, but next to it. And it's amazing. It's absolutely mind-blowing how good this thing is. I can't get over the sheer amount of cameras and technology. Everything in this room. It is fairly mind-blowing. So I want to see what these guys think of the MobileStudio scanner compared to a rig such as this. This is one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And, quite frankly, how does the Wacom MobileStudio scanner compare? What do these guys make of the Wacom MobileStudio?
I would like to point out that the rig at Ten24 does operate as a giant electromagnet, which did interfere with our audio files just a little bit. I am deeply sorry for that. Nothing I could do. Obviously, we didn't spot this until I got back to the studio. I've cleaned this up as much as I can, and to be honest, the files are amazingly good compared to what they were. I really hope that this doesn't interfere with your enjoyment of this video. There's some great information about 3D scanning, about the Wacom MobileStudio, that, to be honest, nobody else has done in any other video. So I really hope that, you really enjoy this. Let me know your thoughts below. Meeting Jamie, seeing him play with the MobileStudio Pro, getting to play on his rig, definitely helped answer a lot of questions for me.
These two bars here, I thought was something to do with 3D scanning at first, but they're just for the stand that you can put on it.
Yeah.
And the camera itself is a lot smaller than I.
Yeah, well, it looks like some kind of prime sense scanner, like similar to like a Connect or something. So you've got, the way it works is you've got two sort of cameras. So you've got like an infrared camera, like a normal camera, and then that might be some kind of little projector. I'm not entirely sure, but the way it normally works, it's called active scanning. So it projects a pattern onto the object, and then the infrared camera picks it up, and then the normal camera picks up the color, and then you can work out the depth.
Yeah.
So it can kind of scan things, but generally these are usually fairly low quality in terms of what they can actually capture and resolution and texture.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is to do with the size of the lens. So basically, a digital SLR has a massive big bit of glass.
Lens. It's the sensor inside behind the lens.
Exactly.
The size of the sensor and everything like that determines.
Yeah. So you're basically going to be looking at fairly low quality, but when you're using like a like an active projection technique, you can kind of compensate for that a little bit because it's got like a known amount of reference on the surface. Yeah. So yeah, it can make a big difference, but have to try it and see.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, cool. Let's give it a go.
So when you say low quality. Yeah, it's relative to. Yeah, I mean, for a 3D artist who just wants to scan something in and then work on the model, etc., this might be something that
it might be a good starting point. It might be somewhere where you could, for example, capture the form or the rough shape of it.
Yeah.
But obviously we won't know until we try it. But I think the best thing to do is try it and see what it's like. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it could definitely provide a very sort of rough starting point for a model.
Cool.
That is basically the same as that, but this is a Architect scanner. It's quite an old one. It's like 8 years old, but basically you've got the same thing. So you've got a camera and a projector. Yeah. So that projects a pattern, which is an infrared on this, so you can actually see it, and then the camera picks it up and calculates the depth. Yeah. It actually projects 2 patterns, so it can work out the depth. But yeah, that's a brick of a thing. Wow. Yeah, we don't use that anymore.
So you just click scan?
Yep.
I'll do this software. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so with Architect Studio, there's a couple of settings. So basically, you've got your scanning speed, which is the frames per second that it scans at. So 1 frame per second.
Yeah.
It's really jerky, but you really want the highest that you can possibly get. So 30 frames a second.
Yeah.
It's quite good. And then you've got these 2 settings here. So this basically defines the region that you're capturing at the distance. So the near 700 millimeters, I guess that is.
Yeah.
Or 70 millimeters. And then that's far away. So that's 1.5 meters that it can capture away. And then you've got this graph here. And so the ideal capture zone where you want this peak to be is between 700 and 1500. So if you're scanning those chairs, you want to keep that spike kind of in the middle.
Right.
So that's the optimum distance. And then in the advanced tab down here, handy little thing is this delay before recording. So if you put that up to like 5 seconds. But yeah, I mean, basically then, I guess just record. So you've got 5 seconds now to position it. 2, 1. And then you just... So the thing with these is to cover as much of the surface as possible, for as long as you can, and really slow, kind of even movements is really important. If you move this too quickly, it'll lose registration, and then you've lost. It seems quite good. It's quite.
I think you're getting better results out of it than I do. I think that's because you know more about the settings.
Yeah, well, I've used these scanners a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it seems. The thing to do is to try and keep the thing that you're scanning always in the frame.
Yeah.
So if you think that this is recognizing where it is based on what it's already seen, so you kind of want to always keep an overlap section. And move slowly.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And the longer these prime sense scanners, the longer you hold the scanner in the same position, the more times it scans it, and the smoother the results you'll get.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems pretty good. That's much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah. See, you got far better results than I did.
It's just about it's because I've been scanning people for that thing with years. It's about the movement. It's kind of a learned process. You have to be really steady, and you have to move like really gently, and bend your knees rather than like bend your back. And it's all about trying to maintain.
I think I was pivoting at the shoulders.
Yeah, you kind of want to move like a machine.
Yeah. I was treating it more like a camera.
Yeah, no, it's not. You don't do that. Yeah, you can do that and that, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of the movement. It's not that and that, because that'll move the camera a lot. Yeah,
so
you kind of
can do
always,
large arcs and
you want to imagine there's like a big stick coming out of it, and it's about here, and the point of that stick is always on the object that you're scanning.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to always keep it, in position, like
yeah.
if you're doing an arc like that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go to the side, you kind of you sort of bend your knees. It's not
But if you twist it like that,
if you do that,
the stick snaps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it goes that way, and it's looking all the way over there, and you're not looking at the same thing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So that does nothing, but that and that is the key. The other thing with these scanners is the more stuff you have around them, the better they work. So yeah, the key thing is moving as smoothly as possible. And not tilting
Not tilting the camera.
Not tilting the camera.
Yeah, getting that line in between
Yeah.
the tablet and the object.
I think this size object is way too small for this size scanner. I think this scanner is better for scanning things like chairs and rooms and larger things, if you know what I mean. We can try it on you if you want.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Cool.
It is optical.
Yeah.
Because it's
it does do
because
it.
there's a decent
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, it looks quite good. It's definitely got the shape right.
Yeah. I think that's a lot better than I could have gotten just
in
my own little studio.
Yeah, you need a lot of room. I think the ideal distance is about 1 meter to 1.2 meters.
Yeah.
To scan a person anyway. But yeah, no, it's not bad at all. And if you're going to draw from that, it's got all the form and
Yeah.
I think it would be harder to scan somebody pulling a specific pose, because I think the stiller you stand, the better the quality of scan you'll get, because it's all about movement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly good at standing still.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's good though, in terms of like a tool for an artist to scan somebody quickly and get that into like.
Or if you were making a character for a game.
Yeah, yeah, you could.
That's a good base to start from.
Yeah, well, the proportions are correct, and that's the thing. That's the main thing, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah, you could go in and sculpt the face a little more, and and create your character.
Yeah, get it in ZBrush, do what you like with it, I guess. And I guess combining this with, if you did have other high-res scans, you could then sort of, mix and match and up-res details doing it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it came out well. It's not really fair to compare it to a really expensive architect scanner, something that costs £50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fairly cheap scanner with a small lens, so you're not going to get amazing results, but it's quite easy to use, and it does use some very high-end software. Architect software is incredibly good scanning software. It's very, very easy to use. The actual results, I mean, you can see them for yourself.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's captured quite a lot. It's not what you would call detailed, but it has captured the form really well, and if you're going to use this as a basis for sculpting or for drawing or for pose reference, then yeah, it's really good. It does require a little bit of getting used to in terms of how you actually move the scanner, and that's something that people have to learn. I don't think you can just pick this up and immediately go.
Yeah, I think I got a little better after a few tries.
Yeah,
but I think you picked it up, and you've obviously been using this technology a lot longer, so you know what you're doing with it more. And your scan of me there is just 10 times better than I think I could have captured.
Yeah.
And I also think that having the space that we did it in, just a large enough, well-lit space was important.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think because the actual optimal scanning distance is about one meter, maybe a bit more, you do need quite a lot of room to actually move around the object that you're scanning.
Yeah.
One other way you can do it is to have the object that you scan on a turntable. So you can hold the scanner still or maybe move it up and down and just have the object rotate, which is kind of the way we used to do it in the past. But that requires extra hardware.
Yeah. And this works with larger objects rather than smaller objects like the object we tried to scan earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all about the amount of the resolution. So, I mean, if you imagine scanning something, this size, like, 8 inches, then that's the level of detail you're going to get. But if you scan something larger, like a human or a room, obviously the details are a lot better in terms of the overall form.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual resolution of the scanner is not particularly high, so you're never going to get super high-res details.
Yeah. Do you think this would be of use to 3D artists?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anything that you can use to bring the real world into the digital is useful, because as a 3D artist, you're modeling stuff, you're trying to recreate things in the real world. If you can drag them in, scan them in, and put them in the computer, then you've got the perfect reference to start from. Yeah. So yeah, anything like this is useful.
And you said this software, you know this software already, and this is well established.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised to see it was on the Wacom, because this is quite expensive software. I think it's about £500 or £600 to buy it. So this comes free with
I think you get a year's license.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it also Wacom software. If you do like the scanner on this and you wanted to upgrade to like a architect scanner, then you've already got the software, which is a little bit cheaper than buying the scanner with the software.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is also good training for if you did want to buy an architect or get into scanning seriously. Then if you've learned on this, then when you move up to the more professional scanners, then you've got a good grounding.
This is a good entry level scanner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. You've been able to do a lot more with this than I have, and to hear you say that this is good enough as an entry level scanner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely good enough. It depends what you want out of a scanner. If you expect to capture super high resolution, poor details and beard hair, then definitely not. If that's what you're expecting, then no.
You need that.
Yeah, you need one of these.
You need one of those.
Yeah. But if you want to capture the shape of somebody and draw from it and sculpt on it, then yeah, that's what this does perfectly.
Yeah. And I think, if I was making something like a game character, or a miniature, or something like
that.
Exactly,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, this
is actually high enough detail with a bit of extra work on it in ZBrush or something else, then they could probably do the job.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, a bit of sculpting work could bring that up to a fairly decent level quite quickly. The other thing with this is, which we're not showing here, is it actually captures the textures as well. Yeah. So this is how a lot of this is a prime sensor. So this is the same sort of technology that a lot of 3D printing scanning companies use. Like the My Selfie sort of thing.
Yeah, the Asda.
Asda printers. Yeah. But basically, all they do is do this with the sort of with the color on, and then they print it out from their color printers. And because it's got the shape correct, and you put the color on top, you actually get quite a nice looking, depending on what you think is nice looking sort of print. Usually it looks like it's made of sand, but as an entry level scanner, it's brilliant.
So that's the Wacom MobileStudio 16 3D scanner, and it looks a lot better than I think I expected it to be, and other people as well. You're not going to get a high definition, perfectly pristine, crisp, scan of somebody's face with this, but if you're looking to create something like this and then work on it a bit, it's an excellent addition to a tablet.
So as well as just generally being awesome all day, Jamie actually just helped me by printing a 3D model of the scan that we did on the Wacom MobileStudio Pro, so we could see just exactly the full results that we got from this 3D scanner there. And I've got to say, this looked absolutely fantastic. I was well and truly pleased with the results. I want to have this on my shelf. This thing looks absolutely great. And this was just the raw scan as well. There's been no touching up done to this. I was well and truly blown away.
That does look very cool.
You go inside as well, you can do like a spinning around shot.
Yeah, the Madonna music video bit.
Cameras.
Yeah. I'm glad I had my haircut yesterday.
Yeah, looks good. But yeah, that's 176 images. So those are the top down ones that are looking at your head. Yeah. Those are the up ones that are so they get like a lot of, this is kind of what makes it work, this sort of detail.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, that looked really cool.
It's awesome. How'd you go from this to the 3D model on
the computer? Well, we have to take this away from here basically on a memory stick, and then we've got a big 20-core Xeon processing machine over in the office, and we load all the photos in, and then that builds a sort of rough model, and then we refine that. We build like an even higher res one, which is really, really detailed, and then we take that into ZBrush and then do any sort of cleanup work and stuff that we need to do on it.
So thanks for today. That's been absolutely awesome. Yeah. So you've got a piece of software coming out yourself.
Yeah, Anatomy 360, 3D scanning and models for artists.
That's cool. I'm going to try that out. Yep. Have a full look at that. That should be awesome, and hopefully we're going to see the model we scanned today in the rig.
We'll do a special version of you just for you.
So that's the Wacom MobileStudio 16 tested out in terms of its 3D scanning capabilities, and to be honest, I think that did amazingly well. We're looking at the kind of rig that Ten24 had, and obviously it's not going to compete with that. I mean, that's film quality. So hopefully you enjoy that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I shall see you back in the studio. Bye! Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and even subscribe to my channel, LAWRENCEcanDRAW. And if you really did like what you saw here, you can see more of it on my website, enjoyment..Can't. I'll see you next time.